advocates safe technology, correct? So allow me to say good morning to both of you. How are you?
Good morning, Bermuda.
Good morning. Thank you, ladies, for
Thank you for having us.
being here. I have Eugene Dean on the line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the line and bring Eugene on. Good morning, Eugene. How are you?
Greetings. I'm good. Good, thanks.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. So I have the ladies in studio, and I guess you're going to start.
In our view, because there are many concerns, both locally and internationally, about 5G. So I guess our biggest thing is that it's important for the general public to weigh in on this decision. The regulatory authority, in meeting with them, clearly expressed that they recognize that there are concerns locally and internationally with the technology. And that's why they've made this public consultation available. So the whole point of this process is to allow the general public to give feedback on whether they should allow this technology to be deployed. Now, what we need to understand is that the RA is set up by nature to lean towards technology and innovation. So short of the general public, right, given, I guess, substantive evidence to suggest that technology shouldn't be deployed, their natural action is to deploy technology and to be in favor of innovation. So that's why it's very important for the general public to get involved, because in the absence of involvement, then they just go ahead with the new technologies as they come down the line.
Okay, so as the ladies will let our listening audience know, today is the deadline. So for those individuals, the Bermudians alike, that haven't voiced their opinion or concern, today will be the day, like right now, to go to the RA's website and, give their concern.
Panel of, some local and international professionals, and basically they're responsible based on the thoughts. So ra.bm is the RA website where you can put in your submission, but Bermuda Advocates for Safe Technology have done an excellent job of providing the general public with science and information about 5G. That's been one of our concerns, is that there hasn't been anyone from the industry or from government really educating or raising awareness in the community. So I know we're very thankful for BAST, because they have done all the heavy lifting in that regard. So if you need assistance with your submission, go to www.bast.bm. They have a lot of resources there that are available to help you so that you can make your voice be heard.
Okay, well, Eugene, thank you so much. I'm going to bring the ladies in. So if you're close to, well, you are close to your phone because you're on your phone. If you want to hear the interview, just tune in or go to one of the latest websites, online, radiobox.com, and you can listen to the rest of the interview.
Okay, good, thanks.
Thank you, Eugene. Have a great day.
All right. Peace and love.
Bye-bye. Inside the 10 o'clock hour, as stated, I have Michelle DaCosta in studio with me. I also have Camilla, and they represent BAST. If you've never been to the website, it's BAST.bm, and BAST is Bermuda Advocates for Safe Technology. Ladies, most of us have heard of 5G. Camilla, you have been advocating along with Michelle. What is the downside with 5G? And some of the questions that have been I guess some of my listeners have stated, ask, the ladies or whomever's coming on, what is the issue with 5G? And I think what people are saying is, okay, we use technology every day. We use we use microwaves. We have our cell phones. We already have 4G. So what is this big deal of 5G?
Great question. Well, the big deal with 5G and the reason why it's created such a controversy around the world, not only in Bermuda, there's actually a scientist's appeal to the UN to call for a halt to 5G rollout, is because it's very different from 4G. It's really not just another G. It's a radical departure from what we've had before. And the main difference for people to understand, I guess, would be that instead of big cell towers that you now see up on the hill, you can clearly see where they are. You can't miss them. These are small cells, so and because the type of waves that they use for 5G don't travel very far, they need a lot more of them. So that means there's going to be a lot of mini cell towers, which aren't mini in their output of radiation, and it creates, and in much closer proximity to people's homes and schools. So it takes away your choice of how much radiation exposure you want. It's your choice whether to hold your phone to your ear, whether to use Wi-Fi in your house or hardwire it. But if there's many cell towers everywhere, you don't have the choice of exposure. And a lot of high quality scientific studies show that people living in close proximity to cell towers have higher incidence of disease. And we're very concerned that 5G frequencies, which are very high frequencies, way higher than we've ever used before. These type of frequencies were usually just reserved for the military, for active denial systems and crowd control. So these are new frequencies that are not tested, and we're calling for a pause on 5G until the safety has been proven.
Okay. So where does the community come in? What do we as Bermudians need to do with regards to writing in to the regulatory authority?
Well, you need to go to the BAST website and do your research and really listen and watch the videos and check out the document they have there proving the dangers. I think because people can't see it, they think it's not a big deal, but you're getting blasted every single minute of the day. No matter where you go, everybody has a cell phone. So that means that you're bombarded by radiation. And you don't know the damage or the dangers until you're much older or you get a diagnosis like cancer.
Yes.
So even, for instance, people wearing the Apple watches on their arm, what is that? You're getting constant beam to your arm, but that's your choice.
Correct.
But with this, you're not getting a choice. Like Camilla said, it's going to be very close proximity to your homes and where you live and where you work. They have to cut down trees because it interferes with the signal. It's going to affect the bees. We need bees to be living.
Yes.
So it's affecting the whole environment. For me, I'm really concerned about people's health because Bermuda has a very high rate of cancer.
Correct.
I often wonder, what is the main cause for that?
It's funny
you have to
said
really
that.
think about it. And I think that you should do your due diligence and go to the website, do your research. I believe there's a template on there that can give you some ideas of how to answer the question because most people, I think, are overwhelmed with they don't understand it or they don't know what it is, so they're afraid to write into the RA and put their complaints or enough studies to prove that it's not going to cause any risk. So I advise people to just do your due diligence, do your research. You got to think about future generations. It just having all this radiation definitely affects your health and your cells. So you have to think that and just check it out. I advise you to check it out.
So for those that are tuned in, you can go to BAST website, which is BAST.bm. Have a read. And also, while you're at it, if you've already been over to the website or you go directly to the Regulatory Authority website, their website is ra.bm. When you hit the landing page is going to say Public Consultation into Radio Frequency and 5G Safety, October 23rd to December the 7th. So today is December 7th. You can watch it. You can also read the consultation document. And if you have any questions, queries, concerns, today is your last day to submit them to the RA. Because if you don't know what's happening, that means that we're not informed. And if we're not informed, then we can't make a, definitive decision if you're for it or against it. Now, you've heard Michelle state about more towers, more radiation, and even with Bermuda has a high cancer rate. When you said that, I remember a doctor overseas. They didn't say it to me, but they did say it to someone that I knew. They were away with one of their family members, and the doctor was beside himself, and he said, "I have seen so many people from Bermuda with cancer. What is going on in that island? Is it the food that you guys eat, or is it stress?" and obviously no one really has an answer. So
Right.
with these 5G towers, if by chance it comes to fruition, then these towers are
Far are you setting those back? You know, I think that's another big concern.
Yeah, there's very little policy, almost none policy, so that we can grow technology and it can really be progress, not to the detriment of our health. Because if COVID's taught us one thing, it's that you can't put a price on health.
correct.
And so much of us have given up so much this year because of the pandemic, our livelihoods and earnings and everything else in the name of our health. And this should be no different. The profit should be put aside. The health is the most important thing.
All right. Now, you stated earlier that there were some places or countries throughout the world that have stated or stopped 5G. How did that work out for them? They just basically all came together and said they're not for it as a country.
Yeah, the country put a ban on it. Usually the health and environmental ministers of the countries are the ones creating the bans. And then there's a lot of individual cities around the world, and even a state like New Hampshire. They did a whole year-long study. They had a lot of health and environmental cell antenna from people's homes. And
What has the reception been like throughout the island with regards to Bermudians either for or against 5G after, I guess, or during the public forum you had?
Well, I think it was, you had a lot of people for it and a lot of people against it. And most of the people that are for it they have stakeholder in it, you know, mostly IT people. But I think people became more interested in learning more about it. And I think we had a really good response from that.
yeah, well, it's interesting. We actually had a lot of positive feedback from individuals in the industry who also had concerns. And Dr. Haru pointed out from McGill during the presentation that the biggest signatures on the UN appeal to stop 5G weren't health or medical professionals, it was actually engineers.
Interesting.
And the petition's been great too. We've got almost 4,000 signatures on the stop rollout of 5G in Bermuda petition. COVID and our jobs and everything, and it's really not the right time for a public consultation like this. It really should be extended and held into the new year when people have more time to look at the issue.
All right.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
for
too
those,
rushed. They've certainly, you know, rushed it while everybody's stressed out, like she said, about other concerns.
Yes.
They just need to take their time because it's a big thing for Bermuda. We have 4G. You can download things very quickly. I mean, how much faster do you really need it? Like,
Yes.
no rush, I don't think. I think we should just pause and check all the data and science first before we just jump into it. It's too late after it's done.
correct. Now, for those of you that have never been to BAST website, I want you to go to the website. You know, I always encourage you to read. BAST stands for Bermuda Advocates for Safe Technology, and it's BAST.BM. You are familiar with the Regulatory Authority of Bermuda. Their website is RA.BM. When you get to the landing page, you can read the consultation document. You can also watch the information, the online information. You have to submit your response by 11:59 tonight, which is Monday, December the 7th. On the right-hand side, it says, click here to read and respond to an open public consultation. So if you have any questions, queries, concerns, tonight is the night, because they haven't stated, the RA hasn't stated that they are extending it, which most people would like for them to. But until they do, you have to submit all of your information. You might have a one-line question. You might just be against it. You might even be for it. But whatever it is, you have to submit your responses today by 11:59 tonight. Because if you don't, that means we don't have a say. And if we don't have a say, that means other individuals or stakeholders, etc., they are making they're having a say for us.
Yeah, every voice counts. We have freedoms and we live in a democratic society, and all our voices are important.
All right.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, absolutely. And as Michelle has stated, the 5G towers will be closer, in proximity to our houses, etc., which can / will cause obviously more direct radiation, which causes cancer. We already have a high influx of cancer throughout our island. Doctors don't really know but, I mean, if it's hereditary, that's separate, but they haven't been able to figure out if it's the foods that we're eating, the
Or,
lifestyle we live.
yeah,
or
environmental
stress.
exposures, yeah.
And not to mention that it's not gonna look very nice, having all these small cell towers everywhere. It's gonna
Correct.
destroy our beautiful island, in my opinion.
Information session, you said that New Hampshire, their residents, where does Bermuda come into if the RA is able to extend the deadline?
Well, we'd like them to extend the report over the holidays, which again doesn't give people much time to review and submit feedback on that. So we would like to see more health experts on the panel too. The panel that Bermuda's using, they've got people that are heavily weighted for industry. They have one particular psychologist, Dr. Rodney Croft, who's the chairman of ICNR, which is Dr. Karika Weldon's on the panel. She's the only health person full-time on the panel. But obviously, she's very busy now leading the testing in response to COVID, especially with the escalating cases. So this is not a good time to involve health either. And we'd like to see more of the people that are responsible for health policy in Bermuda from the Department of. That's why we strongly believe the consultation should be extended into next year.
Okay, well, that's something else you can definitely submit as well. So for those that are tuned in, if you have been privy to some of the information, if you have read the consultation document, or you haven't, and this is the first time you're listening to the interview, and you're like, okay, Ms. Thang, I need more information, so I feel that the deadline should be extended, go to the website, ra.bm, click the little white box that says click here to read and respond to an open public consultation, and state, I would like to have this extended because we as Bermudians, we need more information in order to make an informed decision. And but all of these results, and I should say all of the information or your questions and concerns have to be submitted tonight by 11:59 p.m., which is Monday, December the 7th. We can't wait till 12 o'clock. So if you want it extended, the RA will have a discussion and they will say, okay, we've heard the outcry or the outcry of Bermudians, and we would like to extend it accordingly. Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
many
Thank
of
you for
my
having
listeners,
Thank you for listeners.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're familiar, and then some might not be. This might be the first time they're actually hearing about all of this. So, like you said, in order to make an informed decision, we have to be informed. We can't be raced. So,
Exactly.
if you want this to be extended, guys, because this not only affects us, it affects your children, our seniors, our future generation, then you need to submit and state, hey, can you guys consider to information, but all of your submissions have to be in by 11:59 tonight. For those of you that are tuned in, time check is about